The Too Rich to Miss podcast.
What's the deal, everybody? Welcome to the Too Rich to Miss YouTube show. We are here coming to you from the East Coast, right here from Virginia. Be sure to check me out right here on YouTube, and check me out right here on Twitter. Be sure to follow me at Too Rich to Miss on Twitter. And also be sure to go through and check me out and follow me and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to share the video, and be sure to subscribe while you're here. Looks like when I'm looking at the analytics, about 96% of the people that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. So subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. I'm getting videos out to you every other day right now, trying to get up to every day to put out some good quality content, especially going out to my older audience here, which that's where a lot of my listeners are coming from. And then I do see some 25-year-olds out there listening to me as well. Like I said, just give me hit me up in the comments. I read all the comments. Let me know what I can do to improve the content and the channel, and so that we can keep this thing going. There's a lot of people putting out content, and I want to give more of a balanced perspective on everything while still going through to help you make some cash. Definitely help you to make some cash, or if nothing else, help you to preserve some cash. So we are once again going to be talking about DeFi. And before we get into talking about DeFi, let's go through and just kind of examine the market. As we can see here, almost everybody's in the green today from the heat map. When we're looking at all of the major cryptos, and we got going on here, Bitcoin right now, as of the recording of this, is pushing up about 3%, going towards that $12,000 mark. That's definitely something that we like to see. Ethereum is on its way. Ethereum is up to 470, up 11% today. But as you can see by all of the green right here on the map, most of the major cryptos are in the green today. Which is always a wonderful thing. And if we go over here to the DeFi Pulse, looking at the decentralized finance market, like I was telling you in one of my other videos, this is still a baby, but we are up to $9 billion in total value locked in the DeFi space. And if you look at the last 90 days, this thing is on a tear. Let's go to 30 days. This thing is on a tear. I mean, we're talking about the beginning of August the 3rd, there was only $4.36 billion, and now we're $9.06 billion in value locked into in the DeFi market, in the decentralized finance market. Totally, it's a lot of wonderful things going on, and a lot of opportunity as well. But as I said before in my last video, be very careful. Be very, very careful. There's a lot of opportunity out here, and there's a lot of profits that you can get. Just be very careful. If you're out here and you're messing around with this stuff, and you're yield farming, and you're doing some of these other things, be very careful. I would definitely I would just say that a smart person that's going to be out there, if you're messing around out there, and if you've been messing around in YFI, for example, just to give an example here, because as I told y'all in another video, I didn't get into YFI because I was kind of skeptical about this whole yield farming thing, which kind of gets into what we're going to be talking about. One of the things I'm going to touch on today. But while we're going through talking about the markets here, it's like with this YFI, just as an example. If you've been in YFI for more than 7 days, you've made well over 134% if you've just been in there more than 7 days. If you've been in YFI more than 7 days and you're over 134%, by all means, sell some and take some profit. At the very least, sell and get your investment back. Yeah, if you've been in more than that, then we can definitely see that this thing has been insane. And like I said in the last video, they're going in the insurance as well. So, but look at this thing right here. And just look at what we got right here. Now, if you have been in this for more than 30 days and you're up over 773%, if you've been holding this thing for more than 33 days and you're up almost 773%, by all means, please sell some of this and lock it and take some profits into whichever strategy you're doing, whether you're taking profits, putting it into Bitcoin, which is what I do, or unless you're taking profits, putting it into Ethereum, which I do that too. But I kind of spawned it out. But yeah, if you've been here for this long and you have these type of profits in YFI, then good God Almighty, by all means, please make sure you take some profits, because this whole yield farming thing, like I said, just being honest with you guys, I do understand I understand the concept. You want to lock up your tokens and you want to get the best possible yield, right? And you're essentially, as opposed to you doing the searching for the best possible yield for your coins, yield farming is essentially getting somebody else to do it. You're getting somebody else to do the yield farming for you, and they're giving you a token in exchange, pretty much kind of like an IOU. And then some people are taking the token that they're getting from one place and then locking it somewhere else and getting another token and then getting that and then locking it somewhere else. It can, once again, I understand the whole concept and I understand why people do it, because you're just trying to get passive on top of passive on top of passive, and that's cool. Now, my thought is, how sustainable is this whole situation? How sustainable is all of this? And what happens if the aggregator all of a sudden decides that they're going to just, one day they just decide they're just going to pull the plug, for example? Or, God forbid, there's a flaw in one of the string of smart contracts that's working in the background, and somebody finds a flaw and goes in and is funneling money out of this, starts doing all type of stuff. Who knows? What happens if it just stops? Like I said, just simply, let's say the technology is solid and fine, right? Let's not even blame the technology. Let's say the technology is solid and fine, but all of a sudden he just decides, oh, okay, well, I'm just done, I'm out. Like I said, I understand I'm dating myself here. To my younger audience, they're like, oh my God, man, it's the new thing. Just get with it. It's another phase, but I definitely say be careful, to all of my people that's out there going out here yield farming, and all of my people out here, doing the YFI thing and going with other coins, like they got YFV and all this other stuff. And please don't get me wrong, I would love to be because right about now I would be real happy if I was in this 14-day range at 280%. But like I showed y'all, I was I was down the date that I was going to actually pull the trigger was on the 13th. As a matter of fact, you can still see it stayed still in there from the last video. So I was down here, and the recording of this video is the 1st. So yeah, I'm about in that I would have been in that 14-day range as far as percentage profit, if I would have got in. But once again, with something like this, and this is once again kind of getting back to my older audience, especially those of us in my older audience that are really analytical. And kind of like I said in the other video, there's a bunch that it came out as one of these kind of new shiny things, and if you mess around and start to chase every new shiny coin that comes out, because there'll be a bunch of them, your portfolio can start to get kind of thin, and you can't get you can't maximize your gains the most when your portfolio starts to get a little too thin. And then when I say portfolio is thin, that means you have an overabundance of assets, and there's not a lot of capital equally proportionately allocated to all of those assets. So for example, you have 20 coins with $10 on each coin, versus having 5 coins with $1,000 per coin, or $500 per coin, or something like that, or $750 per coin. Or you get the idea. You don't want your portfolio to be spread too far out, because you can't really keep track of these assets, because things in this market change very, very fast and very, very quickly. So I want to go through and talk about the things that these quickly, just touch on the 5 characteristics that are preeminent of good investors. I came across this article, and I thought it would be a real good follow-up to the last video that I just did that was talking about risk. And it kind of go through and break this out, and you can see exactly the link of where I got this from. It's right there on the screen. And I don't want to go through and talk about all of these, because I want to go and wrap this up here in the next couple of minutes. But I want to really kind of harp on a couple of them. Now, we're talking about being a good investor, and that's what this article says, and I agree with these. I agree with all of these. Now, in crypto, this especially applies. Goal setting. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Just without even having to read what they have going on, the next sentence says it all. A good investor will always have a clear goal. Now, always having a clear goal right from the start when you're getting into this crypto thing will help you a lot, because it will help you to be able to better manage and control what you do and how you do it. And it would help you to be a lot more comfortable when things are moving, because the market can be very volatile, and it can have some pretty big swings. Now, knowledge, which of course is very important, especially in cryptocurrency, which is one of the reasons why you're here. So we're not going to even go through and have to even deal with that. Right decision. Now, this is one that's really important, especially when you're talking about this online world, because there's a lot of these YouTubers, especially some of the bigger ones, they are being paid by some of these coins that they're talking about. So we always want to DYOR. You'll hear me say that a lot here on this channel. DYOR. Do your own research. Make sure that you double check, triple check, quadruple check any and everything before you put your money into it, unless it's something that you were already looking at and you've already done your own research on, and somebody else just so happened to add a different perspective that you may not have taken into consideration, and then you make a final decision with the extra information that you saw from someone else. But don't make your sole investing decision just simply based on what you saw someone on YouTube say, or a coin that they talk about, because a lot of these coins, like I said, they've been compensated to have a conversation about these coins. I mean, and yes, of course, you will hear people say, my opinion is my opinion, and just because they paid me to talk about this, I am not going to just say good things just because they paid me. Okay, alrighty. Okay, I'll just the sarcasm in me is like, yeah, right. Yeah, someone compensated you to speak about their product. You're going to take their money and then purposely speak bad about the product. Yeah, well, of course, I'm being extreme here, but you get the picture. If these people are being compensated to talk about these coins, how objective can they really be? This is definitely something you should keep in mind, especially when you go through and start the 1 second they're talking about a coin, and then the next second they're not talking about a coin, and then, like I said, be very careful. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, it's great to listen to what some of these people are saying, but just like it says right here, listen to the world, but do what is right. Listen to the world, but do what is right. And I'm going to add something to that. Do what is right by you. Because just because it might be morally right, but it might be right as incorrect. But is it right, the right investment decision that's going to keep you and your portfolio going to the direction that you want yours to go in? Because this is an individual game. Everyone has their own individual goals. Sure, we're trying to make profits and gains. That's common, but our long-term goal and passion is something different. It's our own individual thing. Somebody might want a house on the beach. I might want an apartment in the city or something like that. Everybody's different. Somebody might want an island. I might want to buy a neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different. I might not want to buy nothing at all. Everybody's different, and they all have their own goals. And guess what? Nobody's wrong. The only thing that is wrong is taking risks that you aren't comfortable with, which gets kind of down to my last two that we'll cover really quickly, and we're going to knock this one out and be done. Patience. Keep calm and carry on. I always say DCA is the way. Dollar cost averaging. Time in the market is always better than trying to time the market. Time in the market is always better than timing the market. Never forget that. And finally, last but certainly not least, risk aversion. Risk aversion. Know thyself. Good investors know the inherent risk in investing. And as I told you in the last video, you can lose it all getting out here in crypto, messing around, and you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't take your time to really DYOR, to do your own research, really pause, take your time. Don't just buy something because anybody just said, hey, this is going to the moon. And sure, some of them may, but I have another tip that I'm going to give you in another video of one of the things that I discovered that a lot of these guys are doing. And we'll talk about that in another video as well. We'll talk about some tools in addition to the ones that are in the description below. Know yourself and just know that it's extremely risky. You can actually lose your stuff out here. You can lose all your money out here. But on the same token, if you do it right, you manage your risk right, you'll be very happy with the gains and the profits and the rewards that you get and that you receive. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. And thank you so much for following me on Twitter. Looking forward to having more people follow me on Twitter. I have a lot more content and articles that just kind of pop through on my Twitter feed. Thank you so much to all of you guys, to my 96% of you that have been watching my videos, that don't subscribe to the channel. Shout out to YouTube, to all of you out there as well. Give me some feedback and what I can do to get the videos better so that I can make you some subscribers and keep you coming back. So thank you so much, and we will catch you on the next one, the Too Rich to Miss YouTube show. Peace.
The Too Rich to Miss podcast.